Good morning, Jean. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Emily?
Great. Finally starting to warm up, and hopefully fake spring is done with and it's actually the real deal.
I know. I can't wait for these snow piles to be a distant memory. So,
Yes, for sure. So, another episode here of No Commercial Breaks. Super excited about this because it's what I live and breathe every day. So, the topic for today is going to be shared head end strategy.
mhm.
Why should you? Is there a reason you shouldn't? And just the value in partnering, really, is what it comes
Right.
down to. Yeah.
Yeah. And my company CNS, one of our taglines is cooperative and about together. And that's,
Yeah.
how my company started is where can we share resources?
Yes.
And I just think a shared head end just makes so much sense these days. I mean, I
Hmm.
think they did before, but even more so now. I mean,
For
it
sure.
just in so many different ways, operationally,
Yeah.
knowledge wise, financially, obviously, there's just so many reasons why it makes sense to go down the shared head end strategy.
100%. And, I always say we're stronger together, and we 100% are. And I think to how MVS was formed, right? So it started with three companies, and two of them had their own head end. One was a
Yeah.
consortium of seven telcos that had a head end, and then one was an independent company. And then the third owner is the fiber infrastructure.
Yeah.
So instead of having to pay for your own network and everything else, you gain the economies of scale by all coming together. And you don't have the operational cost, which is a nightmare
Hmm.
for a smaller subscriber base, right?
Yeah.
You share that among thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Such a game changer.
Well, especially for some of these companies that are just getting into video,
Yes.
probably just getting into internet, right? They've got grant
Yeah,
money and they're building
exactly.
their internet network and they find out, oh gosh, we need to have a video
Yep.
play to be able to compete. And so then they start looking at all the costs to have video. And if they were going to have to put up their own head end, I mean, there's
Oh,
no way people would get into it.
oh,
And
absolutely not.
yeah, so
Yeah.
even like if you think you're going to have thousands of customers, I don't think it plays to have your own head end and put up antennas and
Mhm.
get the satellites and everything like that. To take on those costs, you'll never break even in video. So
And then,
yeah.
too, think about all the upgrades, right? When I first started here 17 years ago, we were MPEG 2. And then we had to upgrade our equipment, which is a,
Hmm.
a heavy lift to MPEG
Hmm.
4. Now
Hmm.
we've had to upgrade again to the adaptive bitrate. And then,
Right.
too, I think about the cost now with the AI boom of edge caches, because streaming is the future. And
Hmm.
so, if you can find a point of, so you've got a shared head end signal, so you're gaining those economies of scale, and then you find a consortium, maybe you have an edge cache so that you can share the cost of that hardware because it's astronomical now, and they're predicting crazy quarterly increases going
Yeah.
forward. So it's really all about finding that economies and yeah, and the resources and the contracts, right?
Well, and I think too about staffing, right? I mean,
Yes.
the old head end model where, it's like out in a field somewhere and you're driving a truck out in the mud or the snow to get to the head end to fix something in the receiver and the people who have the knowledge of that, it's very unique and it's very
Yeah,
specific. And a lot of those
totally.
people have retired or they've moved on to a different part of the business and who knows how to operate those kinds of things. Like it's a rarity. And so
Mhm.
having the right people in place to manage the head end, that's a unique skill that is not easily found. And so,
Correct.
again, sharing that knowledge base and those people, the people power, and
Oh,
and
for
all
sure.
things are moving to AI, but I don't know that you can
No,
operate a
right?
head end and have AI do everything for you. So
And I think
definitely
that
need people power there.
oh, for sure. And I think now that you say that, that's the natural growth for shared head ends and subscriber base is because people are retiring. That's
Right.
when people look to find, or they've got the cable system and they want to get in the streaming because we're
Hmm.
video's making a comeback, but they
Yep.
don't want to upgrade, right? So that's also where it's a natural fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I remember even back in my Fox days when like we were going to launch a new channel and it was like, oh, we got to get on these shared headends because then you can get to
Yes.
everyone more easily rather than
Yes.
having to go to every single company and say, we'll send you a receiver, we'll send you this. And, like it works for the programming companies too, to
Oh, for
have,
sure.
so not as many places that they have to send their equipment to have one centralized place and still reach all those customers
Yeah.
in less places.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a win for everyone.
Oh, I do too, right?
Yeah.
And you get over the fact that you have been competitors and coopetition's a real thing. And that's where you find like you can, even if you have talent that's not retiring that used to do that, we all know it's hard to find good workers that want to show up. And so if you've got that talent, you can train anybody on anything, right?
Yep.
You can repurpose them within the company and offload that responsibility. And not to mention for the greenfields and the ISPs that are getting all this funding, just the complexity of going to market, right? So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out any of that. And there's also partners that can take care of everything from soup to nuts. So yeah, so it's definitely an opportunity to partner and for shared headends to grow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Exciting.
Yeah, I can't think of one reason why someone wouldn't want to be involved in a shared head end. And, like, especially if you are a smaller company still operating your own head end, that's something I think you need to look at for the future of your business is, do we keep operating this on our own? What would be the benefits to do that? And I don't think you'd find that many, and you'd have a significant cost savings by going to a shared head end model.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd like to think that people who run a shared head end, me being one of them, but we've got other state head ends as well. We love it. We love what we do.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
For a lot of the smaller guys, it can be such a headache and pain point. So yeah, it makes sense to get out.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you take one of those headaches away and make your life simpler and, and then have a trusted partner? And I think that's the other thing too, is a lot of times you think, well, it's a shared head end, I'm not going to have any input, or they're not going to listen to me if I need a new channel or something like that. And I mean, that's not the case with you that I've dealt with, and with a lot of the other shared head ends. They do take your customer input very seriously. And if there are requests for new channels, I mean, they definitely look at that.
Yeah. And I do think that's something that's unique in some of these statewide shared head ends too, is that we truly are member driven, and we're focused on the rural and the people. And that's, you need to make sure 100%, like you said, that if you choose a partner to go down this path with, your values align. And I think you can pretty much say that for the shared head ends and the statewide networks too, that they do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Any final thoughts before we end this episode?
No. Like I said, I way back in my Fox days, I embraced the shared head end model, and I still do today. And I think it's only gotten better as time has gone on.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.